Hello. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is Carla Widenix with today's inspiration. And as always, I'm happy to remind you and to encourage you to live every day on purpose. Well, happy Martin Luther King Day. The day that I will be airing this is on Martin, let's start over. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s day, the official day, the federal holiday, the day that the country has deemed as Martin Luther King Day. We know his birthday is actually January the 15th. But this year, well, every year, we celebrate officially on the third Monday in January. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What can I say? I actually recorded several days ago. I recorded what I was going to run for Martin Luther King Day, but I'm not going to air it. I'm not going to air it because I recorded it where I probably should not have recorded it, so I'm not going to run it. And then today at church, I spoke on it. I spoke about what I recorded. I spoke about what I did last week at work, which was to send inspirational messages to staff and to remind them as well as the students to live every day on purpose and to live his dream in 2015. And that's what we're doing. So this is my third or fourth time actually, because I've been writing all week. So this is like a fourth time that I'm going over this, and I'm not going to go over everything that I wrote, but I just want to share this. Yes, I wish everybody happy Martin Luther King Day. But what is this day about? I love how our president, Barack Obama, has deemed it as a day of service. I love that. It was a hard struggle just to get this to be a holiday. Thank you, Stevie Wonder, and all of those who protested and marched and fought for the country to be given a day to recognize our great leader, Dr. Martin Luther King, because he gave so much for this entire country, not just for black people, but his contributions made us all better. And I thank them. I thank them for that. And President Obama deemed it again as a day of service because that's what Dr. Martin Luther King was about. You know, yes, he fought for equality and injustice, and he was a preacher, and he spoke on those things, and he spoke on what God has allowed him to envision about our country. That's what his dream is about. It's not that just that he went to sleep, because it was so funny one time the children at church said, well, Dr. Martin Luther King was sleepy because he had a dream. You know, that's kind of, they didn't really understand what it meant, but his dream was what he envisioned, what the vision that God had given him for our country. And this is 2015. Are we living that dream? Have we let that dream die with Dr. King? You know, young people get tired of hearing about Dr. King and all of those civil rights people, and they just don't want to hear it. They have no idea really what Dr. King and others went through just so that they could do the things that they do. Just so that they could have the freedoms that they have in this country. This country that's supposed to be for freedom. The land of the free and the brave. That's what this country is about. However, it missed that it wasn't free for everybody. You know, it wasn't freedoms or liberties for everybody, because we as black people, we didn't have the same freedoms and liberties that the white people had. And so that's what Dr. King fought about. But what can we do today? Because that is the past. That is behind us. You know, I live now in the state of Mississippi. Since Katrina, we've been living here in Mississippi. And right now they're going through this thing where some lawmaker is trying to force, and I'm saying forcing because it's not free will, trying to force the state of Mississippi to apologize to African Americans for their part in slavery back in the day. Now, I really it's stuff that I never really thought about. But one thing I do know is that was the past. That was the past. And yes, racism still exists, but slavery no longer exists. And if they apologize, I think they should do it from their heart, not be forced to do it. But that's just my personal feelings. But although all that is in the past, just like the civil rights movement, all of that is in the past, it still affects us today. So how can we live that dream in 2015? We should remember what Dr. King spoke about, what he stood for. One thing was nonviolence. And every time that we, black people, are violent, I just shake my head. I shake my head. This is not what Dr. King envisioned. Black on black crime, black on white crime, any kind of crime need to stop. But when we are hurting ourselves, that is sad. That is sad. And it's not always a violent way that we're hurting ourselves, but sometimes just in word and deed, we hurt each other. There are some people who, this is still going on. You see me? I'm chocolate. I'm a dark, brown skinned woman, and I'm proud of it. But there are some people today who will still not care about me because my skin is dark. Or some people, even some dark people, they prefer to be with lighter skinned black people. Now this is foolishness because we're all people, number one. And then if we're black, we're all black people. So why can you disregard me because my skin is darker? What do that mean? What's wrong with darker skin? But this still exists within our race, and we need to stop it. We need to stop it. God created us all, and we're all wonderful because He created us. So stop fighting against one another. Black women, stop fighting against one another. Let me tell you about those reality shows. Yes, I watch some of them. All of them I don't care about. But the ones, and most of them, are all about black people and mostly black women. You don't see the men fighting. You see the women fighting. Why are we fighting? Why are we hurting one another? Why are we trying to stop one sister from doing something or getting somewhere? Why are we jealous? Somebody told me recently that, people were jealous of me. And I'm like, me? They have no reason to be jealous of me. I'm just a person and I'm just doing what God called me to do. And I'm being all that I can be. And I'm living my life on purpose. You can do the same. We don't have to tear each other down. I don't have to stop somebody else in order for me to look good. I look good. You look good. Period. So we need to stop it. When you're fighting, when those women on the Housewives of Atlanta, when they're fighting like that, they're not living Dr. King's dream. They are shameful. There's other shows, the hip hop show and other reality shows where black people are fighting against each other, particularly black women. We have to stop it. We have to do better. We can do better and we can stop it. The choice is ours. Let's remember Dr. King on this day and every day as much as we can. And let's be the example, because people are sitting there shaking their head and saying, see there? You see there? You're better than that. We are better than that. And we can do so much together. We need to stop hurting one another. Love one another. Love one another. God bless you. This is Carla Wynix with today's inspiration and reminding you again that you can live every day on purpose. God bless you.